Good evening.
Good evening.
With the agricultural industry being as large as it is, many of its aspects are often overlooked by our society. There are people who think that agriculture is strictly farms and tractors, and also those who no longer see the importance of agriculture in small rural communities. If I had the power to change something in my community, I would change the way that the community perceives agriculture. 2 years ago, there was a major shakeup in our school. Due to the tight budgets for education, our agricultural teacher was laid off. This decision came from the Board of Education and the Superintendent of Schools. One quote from the superintendent that stuck with many community members was that agriculture has run its course in our community. While our superintendent lives outside of our school district, he is not from a rural area and may not be fully aware of what happens inside of our community with agriculture. He may not know that agriculture is a leading industry inside of our school district, or that nearly 25% of the students in our high school belong to a 4-H club or the FFA chapter. He does not know the importance of agriculture to our students. In addition, I do not believe the superintendent of my school realizes how many job opportunities there are in the agricultural industry. One day, while I was working with my dad on our neighbor's farm, we stopped to count the number of people that would make a profit from being on the farm that day. The answer was 17. From the milkman to the sawdust delivery man, a large assortment of money was trading hands for the production of milk and beef. Then, one afternoon, I was sitting down to eat lunch at my kitchen table. I sat down next to my sister's best friend and noticed that she was picking the pepperoni off her pizza. I asked her, "You're not a fan of pepperoni on your pizza either?" And her response to me was, "No, I'm a vegetarian." When I went on to ask her why, she told me, "Because of all those huge factory farms that abuse the animals that end up in people's freezers." This is another large misconception of agriculture made by many people in my community and in communities all over the country. Large factory farms have been given a false, bad reputation by certain groups which alter people's perception of agriculture. I personally would like to be able to educate the general public about the nature of farms in our community. The largest dairy farm in our school district milks less than 200 cows. The abuse of animals that people think of when they think of farms is not present here. Not all farms are bad, and eating local can help the local agricultural markets and increase profits for local farmers. The way that people in my community view agriculture needs to be changed. It is the first thing that I would make known to people if I were ever given the chance to do so. Bottom line, there is still a demand for agriculture in our community, although it often goes unnoticed by many of the citizens. Thank you.
Thank you, Phyllis. I would like to call up Dave Zilker, who will present Farmer of the Year Award.
Thank you. The Farmer of the Year Award is presented to people that have done a lot more agriculture to be actually agricultural community. And these people have done a great job of it. Thank you for pointing that out to me. So our recipients this year are Tom and Robin Degenfelder and their children Justin and Jason. If they would like to come up, we'd really appreciate that. Now they run Duda Farm. It's owned and operated by the Degenfelders. Their farm started in 1996 and their relatives farm in North Carolina. And in 2000, they got to their present farm in Otto. They're running 300 acres that they own and 110 acres of running land. They have 110 registered and grade adult Holstein Jersey and Holstein Jersey Cross cattle, as well as Holsteins, along with 90 head of young stock. The nice thing about this is that if you read down below here, they received the 5-year consecutive award for Upstate Niagara Milk Co-op. and their Super Milk and Dairy Distinction Awards. And Robin is a delegate to Upstate Milk Cooperative and Cattaraugus County Holstein Club delegate. They are also members of the Farm Bureau, volunteer for 4-H, FFA, and the local food pantry in Cattaraugus County. And they also have been involved in the pasture walk for Cornell Cooperative Extension. Now this just shows what farmers go out of their way to do to promote agriculture. And I think these people are definitely great recipients of this award. So I congratulate you very much.
I'd like to thank everyone for coming here tonight and helping support this industry. And we are honored to get this award. When we got the phone call, we asked the guy, "Are you sure you got the right farm?" And well, thank you anyhow, and I hope you enjoy your evening.
Thank you, Dave, and congratulations.
Yeah.
Next, I would like to introduce Don Telaak, who will present the Friend of Agriculture.
No, I'm laughing because he can't take a photo of this. Because he's the award winner. Are you going to take a picture or did you? I'm taking video.
Thank you, Crystal. I appreciate that. The winner for the Friends of Agriculture Award is Rick Miller, and he's here somewhere. Get up here. Not getting out of this easy. Anyway, Rick and his wife live in Eden, so he comes to Olean every day, and he's all in great shots you see of farm activity going on. It's courtesy of Rick. He's very passionate about the agriculture industry, and in fact, he's so passionate he decided he needed to find out a little bit more about the Amish. So in order to blend in, he painted his car black, he put wooden wheels on it, and a slow moving vehicle sign. We decided you needed one more piece, you needed the hat. So you got to be careful, that hat seems to have a few powers. I put it on, wanted to plant strawberries. Brian put it on, he wanted to do woodworking. So we were kind of curious to see what it's going to do to you. You want to take your shoes off. Well, give it to your wife, who knows? Anyway, thank you very much, Rick, for the wonderful work you do. I really appreciate it. And agriculture's greatest ally is a well-informed public, and you do that very well. Thank you.
I didn't take his open. Put your hat back on. Put the hat on, Rick. That's good. Thank you very much.
Next, I would like to introduce Brian Davis, who will present the Conservation Farm of the Year.
First thing I want to say is I think we should give all the folks at the county planning department a great hand for, they're really the backbone behind setting this whole thing up. Okay, we're going to, on behalf of the Soil and Water Conservation District for Cattaraugus County, I'd like to present this year's Conservation Farm of the Year Award. And each year we present this award to a farm that is has demonstrated, their commitment to protecting the environment through implementation of various pest management practices on their farm to try to prevent agricultural runoff and soil erosion and improve water quality and that type of thing. So this year's recipient is Pimm's View Dairy Farm in the town of Leon, and Adelia Pimm, her husband Kevin, and her mom and dad, Mr. and Mrs. Fred Pimm from Leon, if you would please come up. We have a couple of things for you. Adelia and her family have implemented a number of different projects on their farm, including bunk silo runoff, milk house waste tank, cover cropping, some fencing to keep the livestock out of streams, and they work very closely with the Western New York Crop Management Association, one of our partners that we work with to try to assist farms in addressing some of these. So first I'm going to present the plaque with a clock, and congratulations. The other thing I would like to present is part of what we do with Soil and Water and the Natural Resource Conservation Service is we'll go out and do what they call agricultural environmental management, which is a planning process that's been kind of adopted statewide, and we call it AEM for short. Of course, us government folks like our acronyms, so we're going to be presenting them also with a sign that they can put in front of their farm as well for all the great work that they've done. I'd like to congratulate the Pimms, and I should say, and Mrs. Ritter now. And so everybody give them a round of hand for
It's that darn hat, right? Thank you, Brian, and congratulations. And Brian thanked our department, but I would like to acknowledge our Ag and Farmland Protection Board. Hold on just a minute. This effort actually came from our Ag and Farmland Board actually 3 years ago, and last year was our first. But I would like to call up the members of the Ag and Farmland Protection Board, and if you would just please stand and hold the applause till the end. Dave Zilker, our chairman, Barb George, Jim Finch, Chuck Couture. Chuck represents also Farm Bureau. Lynn Bliven represents Cooperative Extension. Dan Brown, Dan Martonis, Brian Davis from Soil and Water, Jim Bozer, our legislative rep, and myself. So I really would like to give these folks a hand. They're the ones that actually support it. Thank you very much. And I also would like to thank my staff.